Something historic is happening on Wall Street right now, and it's being written in code. AI companies are lining up to go public at a pace we haven't seen since the dot-com boom. CoreWeave, the NVIDIA-backed GPU cloud giant, filed for its IPO in early 2025. Cerebras, the AI chip startup, tried to do the same and nearly got blocked by national security concerns. Anthropic is reportedly weighing its options. And OpenAI, the company that started all of this, is now valued at over $300 billion, with whispers of a public offering growing louder every quarter. But here's the thing. The real story isn't just the companies going public, it's who else is quietly along for the ride. Welcome to Axe and Wire. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how the AI IPO wave works, which players are positioned to benefit most, including some you'd never expect, and why the race to go public could reshape the entire tech industry for the next decade. This isn't just a finance story, this is a power map of the AI era. Let's start with why this is happening right now. Think of the AI industry like a startup neighborhood that just got connected to the highway. For years, these companies were building quietly, burning venture capital, iterating on models, staying private. But something shifted in 2023 and accelerated hard through 2024. ChatGPT crossed 100 million users faster than any app in history. Enterprise contracts started flowing. Revenue became real. And when revenue becomes real, the IPO window opens. Here's what's interesting. Going public isn't just about raising money, it's about liquidity. Early investors, venture capital firms like Sequoia, Andreessen Horowitz, and Khosla Ventures, have been sitting on paper gains for years. An IPO is how they cash out. It's how employees with stock options finally see returns. And it's how a company signals to the world, we're here, we're stable, and we're not going anywhere. CoreWeave is the clearest early example. They don't build AI models, they rent the infrastructure that runs them. Think of them as the landlord of the AI neighborhood. NVIDIA owns about 6% of CoreWeave, and Microsoft has committed billions in contracts with them. When CoreWeave filed its S1 in March 2025 with a target valuation of around $35 billion, it wasn't just a company going public, it was a signal flare. The picks and shovels play of the AI gold rush was ready for Wall Street. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The hidden beneficiaries. When people hear AI IPO, they think of the AI companies themselves. But the biggest winners might be the giants who already own pieces of them. Let's talk about Microsoft first. Microsoft invested $13 billion into OpenAI starting in 2019. They don't just hold a financial stake, they hold roughly 49% of OpenAI's capped profit entity. Every time OpenAI's valuation climbs, Microsoft's balance sheet quietly smiles. If OpenAI ever goes fully public, that stake becomes one of the most valuable single investments in corporate history. Then there's Google. Google, through its parent Alphabet, invested up to $300 million in Anthropic in early 2023, and that was just the beginning. Amazon followed with $4 billion. Apple, meanwhile, has been playing a different game entirely. Rather than betting on one horse, Apple has been integrating AI directly into its product ecosystem, striking a deal to bring ChatGPT into Siri via iOS 18, announced at WWDC 2024. Apple doesn't need to own an AI company, it owns the device in your pocket. And that is the platform everyone wants to be on. Here's the analogy that makes this click. Imagine the AI industry as a new continent being discovered. The AI startups are the explorers planting flags. But Microsoft, Google, and Apple? They're the shipping companies, the map makers, and the port cities. They don't need to win the exploration race. They profit regardless of who plants which flag. Now let's talk about the risks, because this isn't a one-way rocket. The dot-com era should be a permanent reminder that hype and valuation don't always survive contact with reality. Several AI companies going public are still deeply unprofitable. CoreWeave reported a net loss of $863 million in 2024, even while revenue nearly tripled to $1,900 million. Investors are betting on the trajectory, not the current numbers. That's a high-stakes wager. There's also the regulatory wildcard. Cerebras' IPO was effectively stalled by a national security review tied to its relationship with a Middle Eastern investor. The US government is paying very close attention to who owns stakes in AI infrastructure companies. This adds a layer of geopolitical friction that didn't exist in previous tech booms. AI isn't just business, it's national strategy. And then there's the concentration problem. A handful of companies, NVIDIA for chips, Microsoft and Amazon for cloud, and a small circle of model labs are capturing the majority of the value. If you're a retail investor hoping to ride the AI wave through public markets, your options are still surprisingly limited. Most of the pure-play AI companies are still private. Here's what's interesting about where this goes next. OpenAI restructuring as a for-profit public benefit corporation in late 2024 wasn't a random legal move, it was preparation. You don't simplify your corporate structure unless you're thinking about outside investors. Sam Altman has publicly discussed the possibility of an IPO, though no formal timeline has been set. When, not if, that happens, it will likely be the most watched tech offering since Meta went public in 2012. The AI IPO wave isn't a moment, it's a multi-year restructuring of how the most powerful technology on Earth gets owned, funded, and governed. The companies going public are the headliners. But the real story is the entire ecosystem, the chip makers, the cloud providers, the device platforms, and yes, the venture funds, all moving in concert, all with skin in the game. This is the power map of the next decade of tech, and now you know how to read it. If you found this breakdown useful, hit that like button, it genuinely helps this channel grow. Subscribe to Axe and Wire for weekly deep dives on the technologies reshaping everything. And check the description below. We've linked to the CoreWeave S1 filing, the Anthropic investment timeline, and the best tools to track upcoming tech IPOs in real time. We'll see you in the next one.